I am up $100,000 on my Tradeify accounts, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how I did that. So I have 5 select flex funded accounts. They're 150k, and I have 5 of them, and I copy trade between all 5 of my accounts. And I'll just play a little recording right now, you can see, of my trade hitting TP. So that's your proof that I actually took the trade. So you can see right now my accounts are all up 20,000 each, which is $100,000. Now I know after 3 payouts, they sometimes consider moving you to live. So I might not get all of my 4 or 5 payouts, but that's absolutely fine. Even if I get 3 of those payouts, which is 25k at a time, that's still $75,000 that I can withdraw in 3 weeks just by doing the profitable trading days. So let's get into the breakdown of the trade that made me the $100,000. So over here, what we can see is gold. Let me change to the 5-minute time frame because that is the time frame I executed on. So it was a very, very simple market structure, moving bearish right here, creating a 5-minute inefficiency, tapping into that, rejecting, and then creating another 3-minute inefficiency right here. You can see right there, a 3-minute inefficiency there. So it was simply just following market structure, bearish, moving up, and then tapping into the inefficiency in a premium, and then taking my sells. And then I simply targeted the previous daily low. But then as we were approaching that, I realized that looking to the left, we had these lows right here. Now, when price comes very close to a low, but then doesn't sweep it and then continues moving away, usually we see a sweep of those lows. You can't be coming this close to a low and not sweep it before moving up. So that was one confluence right there. And 2, this was the Asia low. So the Asia low also never swept this low. So we had Asia low and a regular almost double bottom. Even if you were to draw like a little support right there, you can see it's kind of like a double bottom. Let me mark it out a bit better. There we go. So we have this low and then tap it again and then continue up. So we had a double bottom and we never even swept the low. So we had that over there and a previous daily low over here. That was all a magnet to pull price down. Now, that's not the only thing about this trade. I'm going to talk about the entire context. So if you zoom out to the hourly time frame, this is a trade that was taken like a few days ago as well, which was right here on this hourly inefficiency. But let me break down exactly what this structure is showing and what it means. So when price pushed down impulsively like this, you can see that price retraced up and then continued further down, but price did not retrace into a premium. As we know, premium and discounts are a thing. They are vital for the market to move. So we had to wait for price to come into a premium. So we can see over here on the higher time frames, on the hourly time frame, that price swept this high right here, which was the high that never retraced into a premium. Now, that is something you need to look at. When price typically retraces but doesn't come into a premium and continues further down, I considered that an inducement high, okay? That is inducement liquidity, inducement high, inducement low, whatever. That is an inducement right there. And then price, you can see, finally pushes up into that premium, and we have an hourly inefficiency right there, which we tap into, and then we continue pushing down. Now, I would expect price to continue down to the previous lows right here, but we never got that. Now, there could be many reasons for that. For example, we consolidated up here and then started moving down, rather than taking out liquidity and then moving down. We took out this liquidity here, but we consolidated before moving down. So that actually added a secondary layer of liquidity, which we can see as we were moving down. A lot of people are thinking, oh, we're bearish, and then boom, they all get taken out. And then we tap into a really, really refined 15-minute inefficiency right there. We tap into that and then we start rejecting that quite heavily. And as we start doing that, that was on the Friday market close. And then when you look out even on the daily time frame and zoom out even further, you can see all of that price action, that all of that like premium discount, inducement highs, 1 hour inefficiency in a premium, all of that is happening all within this big daily inefficiency. So that added an extra level of confluence that gold wants to go down. So all of that happened, and then the daily candle closed on Friday as a very, very weak bearish daily candle. Now, this is a pattern that I've seen numerous times, and I'm going to show you that in this video. So we have a daily inefficiency, And we have all of the things that I just spoke about with the premium and discount, inducement high, the 1 hour inefficiency in the premium, all of that. All of that is happening within the daily inefficiency, right? And then you can see on Friday, the daily candle closed weak bearish like this. So I expected the next daily candle to wick up and then push impulsively down. Now, why do I expect that? It's because it's just a pattern that I've seen numerous times. Look above over here. Let me get rid of this nonsense right here. Look over here. We have a daily inefficiency. Price came up over here. Look at this, yeah? Bullish candle, weak, small body bearish, big bearish. Bullish into a daily inefficiency, weak, small body bearish candle, big bearish. Same thing here. Bullish candle into a daily inefficiency, weak bearish candle with a small body, big bearish candle. So every time we had a bullish candle followed by a small, weak body bearish candle, that was followed by a big bearish candle right here, and I just expected the exact same thing here. But that wasn't the only thing. Sure, that's a candle pattern, which a lot of people are taught. We have like evening star and all of that nonsense, yeah? Inducement, no, sorry, not inducement, like doji candles and learning all these little patterns like the hammer and all that crap. It's all nonsense, right? That's just a little candle pattern. That means nothing until you add context behind it. You know that candle pattern, right? So this is a candle pattern that I've just observed over time. But to see that in a daily inefficiency, then you just go down to the hourly time frame, understanding that, oh, we had a premium over here that we never tapped into. We tapped into this hourly inefficiency here. We tapped into that after sweeping an inducement high, because this high, as we can see, we pushed down over here, we retraced, but we didn't retrace into a premium. So this was an inducement high. Then we have a fake market structure shift to the upside, taking out the inducement high into our premium inefficiency. We start consolidating and we reject that. But that wasn't the actual move, because we can see we actually consolidated quite a bit before moving down. So we take out that liquidity as well in this move on Friday. And then we move even higher into a 15-minute inefficiency that was higher up. And then we start rejecting that quite heavily. And then we go to the daily time frame, and you can see that the daily candle closed weak bearish. But this is the same pattern that occurred up here and up here, right? Look at that. Bullish, weak bearish, big bearish. Bullish, weak bearish, big bearish. Bullish, weak bearish, bearish, right? So same thing happening, but you have to add all of this extra level of confluence. And then basically you can see right here, my bias was bearish all the way down to these lows. And that's actually where I took my profits on my funding pips account, which I am now #1 on the leaderboard. At the time of this video, you can check I am #1 on the funding pips leaderboard. Let me actually have a look at that right now. So if I go over here on my funding pips account, so if you go over to the funding pips leaderboard, look, I'll click all people right there, on all account sizes, and look, there I am, #1 right there, $35,000. And if I go onto my accounts right here, you can see right there, my master account up $35,000. So yeah, same person, it's me right there, #1 on the funding pips leaderboard. So this trade was taken on that too, as well as my Tradeify accounts, which I entered over here, and then TP was hit just around about here, taking out this low right here and this previous daily low right here. So that was basically the trade. And as we were moving down, my whole bias was bearish because of everything that I've just spoken about, and all I was looking for was just some sort of confirmation. And looking at structure as we were moving down over here, then we can see Asia range starts closing bearish right at the end of it, and then breaking structure to the downside, sweeping Asia lows, and then retracing into a 3-minute inefficiency, and then we start rejecting that as well, take my sales, and then as price is moving down, I'm just observing how price is moving. We are clearly creating big bearish structure, like bearish highs. Look, lower low, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, into a 5-minute inefficiency, and then we just dump, right? And then that's my TP hit. So that is the whole context behind this trade. It's not just a random, oh, gold was going down, so I took sales. No, it's looking at everything. And all of this is done within minutes of the market, literally looking at all of this information right there. So let me just summarize the trade again for the people that maybe didn't follow or, weren't listening. So let me break it down one more time. We push down impulsively, we create a bearish leg, we retrace up, and then we start pushing down. But that retracement never retraced into a premium zone. We need price to always come into premium and discounted zones. Otherwise, it's very inefficient pricing, and the market just doesn't move that way. If you're a big bank and institution, you're only going to sell things when you have a premium price. If you own something and now it's a premium price, only then you're going to sell, not when it's cheap. And you only buy when something's in a discount, not when it's premium. So that's why the market moves exactly the same way. We only sell in premiums, and that's where we got our confirmation. We tapped over here, and I actually think I did take these sells on Friday as well, and that was a good trade. But then obviously the next day, throughout the day, we moved up further, sweeping the highs, and then that's how the market closed on the Friday. And then on Monday, I was just waiting for the sells. I was waiting for it because of how the daily candle closed on Friday, which was a weak bearish candle. And then I know that weak bearish candle within this daily inefficiency is normally followed by a big bearish candle. I also took this trade on my E8 Markets account. So if you look right here, each of my account is up $12,460. So it's like $60,000 in profit. But today, obviously, I'm just doing $4,000 a day. So that's across 5 accounts, and that was $20,000 on this trade as well. So again, E8 Markets, Tradeify, and some other accounts as well. My funding pips, 35K. It's kind of insane. So altogether, it was like almost like $170,000 or $160,000 made just today on this single trade. So if you want an account with E8 Markets, use code Zamco. If you want an account with funding pips, use code Zamco. Not with Tradeify. I'm not affiliated yet. But there we go. If you want an account with pretty much any prop firm, use code Zamco. All the links and codes are all in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.